everybody. Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV here, once again with a bottle I've not had the opportunity to put on camera. Basically, Bullet's version of the Rockwood front kitchen. But they did really smart things like the barreled ceiling in this really helps class it up and open it up. And the way that they handled and dressed up the whole front wall of that front kitchen with the windshield and just the way it's all trimmed out, they really make this one look nice. Now that kind of makes sense because what we're looking at here, when you see a nose cap on a Bullet, that is basically what used to be called Premier. It's the top line Bullet model before you start moving into things like a Cougar that goes maybe just a little bit step beyond. But, you know, we've got a 70 by 80 king bed slide in the back. We've got a living room super slide, an easy viewing direct entertainment center, a crazy amount of kitchen counter space. I mean, your prep space in here is fantastic. We're generally ventless and carpetless. The bedroom does have a single floor vent, really not in a major walkable area, so I'm not too worked up over it. The roof is walkable. She's got a ladder. The belly's heated, made for extended seasons. I don't believe in the 4 seasons thing. This is going to get you down when it's a little bit colder, but not absolutely, 0 degrees Kelvin or something stupid like that. Docking center's enclosed, which is nice. Goodyear tires and a bunch of other things. But we also have stuff like 2-stage travel access that not everyone's going to be on board with. So I'm going to try to peel through this onion layer by layer, show you the good, the bad, the ugly with everything in between. And if you appreciate how we do that, hit that subscribe button, like our video. Let's go. Now, I've gone through this floor plan before, but never this specific model, not on camera at least. I'm sure I've walked through it. So I always kind of like to do things a little bit more from, say, like a buyer's point of view, If you're looking at this thing, what do you see? And you see lots of windows and a big slide and nice living space right when you walk in. But one of the downsides of this floor plan, one of its only Achilles heels really, is just that it doesn't have a lot of windows on the camp side of the RV. And there's really just no way to flip it. You can't just flip-flop on the vertical axis, this one, as it were, to rearrange things in a different way, Now, it's not the biggest TV I've seen, but you're also like 2 feet from it. If I recline in this recliner, my toes are all but touching the bunion burner down there, so that doesn't bother me too awful much, and I suppose there's room if you want to go a little bit bigger. Just don't block off the bathroom door. That could be a problem. Now, this is the biggest series of Bullets, and it also has the biggest refrigerator. That's one of the larger 10-plus cubic foot, 12-volt compressor fridge models. And like I mentioned earlier, they tend to be pretty easy cleaning and pet-friendly without really floor vents. They do have one back in the bedroom just because there's no other way to duct heat back there. They had to come up through the floor in one location. The walls are 6.5 foot, which is industry standard. But you've got a near 5-6-inch barrel up here, which also really helps. Additionally, centralized air in a multi-room camper like this becomes a big deal. So you've got a single central air unit, but this, these are available 50 amp, available with second air or at least second air prep. So if you see one in stock at any store, Bish's or otherwise, that doesn't have a second air, any dealership worth their salt can slap a second air on that sucker. It's not real difficult, Theater seat or hide-a-bed are available. I think they have a freestanding table and chair swaption instead of the booth. I have to double check on that. I do like the free floating table, though. I also really like, there's benefits to non-laminated slide walls. There's a myth perpetrated by certain marketing agents in the RV industry that laminated slide walls are somehow stronger. Not necessarily. You can build a non-laminated structure just as strong or stronger than a laminated structure, Actually, the whole benefit of lamination is it generally provides strength with less material. So a non-laminated slide wall, to be strong, actually requires more work. It can be done. And it also allows for things like the USB plugs and the switches to be mounted right in that super slide, which is handy. But holy crap, man. Look at all the counter space in here. This thing has just a crazy, stupid amount of wraparound counter space. A lot of front kitchens are not as good as this in terms of that space. Now, because they have that, well, no pun intended, bullet nose shape to them, they don't really have a good design for deep overhead cabinets. So they put a little bit of a shelf back there, push back a little bit so you're not going to cold cock yourself on it. And they really maximize the effect and function of the counter space. Now, it does have good storage space down below. It's got a good pantry that we're going to see. So I don't know that you're necessarily up a creek without a paddle, like there. And the way front kitchens, front living rooms, I think are awesome applications of windshields. I'm not personally a super big fan of windshields in a private bedroom. That to me doesn't provide a major benefit, but everybody to each their own. Now up top, you've got an electric air frying, microwave convection oven, but you do still maintain at least a smaller propane oven down below. They haven't totally, removed all that. I also want to give them credit. Look at the location of the converter panel. This to me is one of the best locations you can put this on this floor plan from any builder, because when the slides are closed, you can still reach it. Some manufacturers, that converter box is located where you cannot reach it when the slides are closed. That can be a major problem. You can override slides, buddy, it sucks. I've done it a couple times in my life, and it is not fun. Now these cable slides, as long as you've got a decent power drill, they're not terrible, but it's still not something you're gonna want to do, obviously. It's like I can mop my floor and I don't want to. I can clean up spilled milk, but I don't want to. You get the idea. You're not really seeing, string pleated shades. That's because these actually have blackout rollers, which is kind of nice. And I don't know if I mentioned, but that is a smart TV, by the way. Now, the slide floor is carpetless in the more traditional sense. It's that marine woven kind of stuff, which some people want to say, technically that qualifies for the definition of carpet. Fine, okay, but you know what I mean. It's not that traditional shag carpeting or anything like that. One thing they did here that I actually really like, they didn't just give us doors for the dinette. Take a look at this. They actually have these big, easy, lightweight pull-out totes. And that is, to me, they're inexpensive. They're super, super effective. I think that is such smart content myself. They make it so you don't have to rip apart the entire dinette to get to everything, and just little details like that matter. Now, one thing I want to point out is under the kitchen countertop is actually shared in part at the very bottom with the front pass-through compartment. That's a cool thing that this RV does. It actually has an outside full front pass-through from side to side. Most front kitchens don't. There's a few exceptions, but most do not. This one has that, but it's kind of shared with the inside, but they didn't panel it off. So I actually like that they gave me the choice of how to use the space instead of making the decision for me, because that represents a few extra dollars for things like, cabinet doors, but it also provides a little bit greater function, and I'm okay with that. You may notice that they are not using the Peekaboo I Smell You bathroom door, although I'm going to clock them a little bit. This is just a little, maybe it was just missed. I don't know. But I just noticed the side of the bedroom door. Looks like somebody scuffed it somehow. I don't know. And I have to go looking for trouble with a map and glasses to spot that. But I try to look at these things the same way you would. If I was going to buy this thing for all this money, am I comfortable with it? What things do give me comfort? Now, if you notice the ceiling trim bands, you notice how they actually cut those off and trim those off before what am I wanting to say? My brain quit braining. They don't just leave them on the roof and then drop the roof onto the bathroom partition wall. Some manufacturers will do that, where they will just leave this here, and then there's this big 1/4-inch gap on either side of it where they just sort of smash the roof down on top of the bathroom wall. I don't like that. I think that's lazy corner cutting. I'm sure it's more cost effective. I don't like it. It probably isn't a structural problem. I don't like it. Porcelain foot flush stool with nice room around it, This could be, I think this might be the point where a couple of people go, nope, you just lost me. Most builders of this floor plan, to keep it at a shorter length, they are running a radius shower. Now with that barreled ceiling, it's very tall person friendly, but you got to be careful how you position yourself for elbow room. The Cougar sister to this, that actually went with a rectangular shower and has better travel access, but it's a little heavier, a little more expensive as well. I like what Bullet did with their storage here. They maximize this big closet space right there. Now back there, you see that's one of the floor vents I was kind of talking about. It's about the only floor vent in this entire RV. Now this is a 70 by 80 RV king bed. Might be 72. I haven't hard measured it, but it's not a full true residential king, you know what I mean? But it's not bad. And I like the windows, the breeze. I like the Cyclops window above the headboard of the bed, and I like how they all give us airflow. What is your opinion on those little mini radius corner stands in there? Love them or hate them? I feel, not most of the time, but at some point I would knock my noggin on those things, and I would hit myself. I don't know. I could be wrong, and maybe I'm just a clumsy idiot, but that's my estimation of this thing. Good news, the bed does easy lift to get up right out of the way, which is very, very handy. You've got a big underbed storage cavity, as well as the double like dresser drawer pullouts, which are good for big, deep, heavy stuff, you know. But across from that, there's serious storage in this bedroom. Really did. They a lot to be able to pack everything they possibly could in here. Now, I'll point this out again when we go outside, but these entry doors are not the widest I've ever seen because they maximize storage. I think they're like a 26-inch entry door. They're not a 30, so keep that in mind. You may have noticed how I got a little dim over there. That's the motion light. And once again, we are 50 amp. We are second air capable if you are so inclined. You're going to need a pretty aggressive swing arm bracket, but your TV hookups are on that rear wall if you want them. Now, one thing I can pretty much guarantee, I haven't closed this one up yet, but I'm willing to bet your paycheck, not mine, but yours. When we close that slide, we're going to have two-stage travel access. Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought we were going to get here. Now, I haven't tried it. If you're super skinny, I suppose there's a chance. If you leave that bathroom door swung all the way open and secure it for transit, you might be able to squeeze your little butt through there. One of the benefits of the AccuSlide system that we're looking at here too, if you open it like partially, it won't screw it up. You shouldn't be sitting in it when it's partially open, but it won't screw it up. So from this door, we can get to things, like the snack-tastic stuff, the refrigerator, the oven, the sink, your silverware. If you need to stop and grab a bite to eat, that's, the front door. Afterwards, this is where you're going to want to pop into here. Now, I also want to talk about AccuSlides. AccuSlide is not a system, again, that should be occupied while retracted. So I am not going to call this bed travel functional. You will need to open that bed slide. Thankfully, it's not as deep as the living room slide, but some places, if you're trying to stealth mode camp without anything open, you can't really get away with that. So keep that in mind. But if you do need to stop and get to the bathroom in a hurry, I don't know, maybe you got IBS or something. That is a real thing. I'm not trying to be gross. I'm just trying to be real about this. This is an RV that can help you on a quick travel stop. Now, once again, I don't have the hitch weight directly in front of me here right now, but I've seen other builders make this layout. Now, Bullet's usually pretty good about being lightweight, but when you have a big super slide in front of the axles on a front kitchen, especially even before cargo, usually that's going to bump it out of the realm of half-ton towability. And someone's going to be like, what are you talking about? My half-ton's rated to pull 10,000 pounds. This doesn't weigh that, even with cargo. You're right. But the payload rating of most half-tons are generally going to be insufficient to handle a trailer with this much hitch weight, so keep it in mind. Now, I like how they're kind of treating both entry doors the same. Now, that being said, they're not the big 30-inch wide entry doors, but I've seen worse toothpick doors in my life, some that are barely there for fire code. The bigger handles, the folding steps, the stable steps for Morite on both, and I'm going to... Holy cow, excuse me, sorry. That came out of nowhere. Pardon me. Anyway, what do we... Woo! Down here, we have Goodyear Endurance radials. And if we get down a little bit closer and peek in between these, you know what you don't see? You don't see leaf spring shackles. This is riding on a little bit different suspension system. It's not truly independent, but it does work a little bit differently, and that is something right there that offers some very nice ride and handling. Now, their water heater is the variety where, if you're taking a hot shower, somebody kicks on the kitchen water, you're not going to suddenly have a cold shower. And basically what it'll do, people aren't really fully understanding. They're not well educated on what tankless water heaters do. With the BTUs that Bullet is using on their tankless on-demand water heaters, it will raise the temperature of the water that's coming in by up to about 59, 60 degrees. So, you know, if it's crazy, silly Arctic camping and there's barely above freezing temperature water, you know, the water you get inside that coach, it might only be like 90, a warm, lukewarm shower at best. If it's summertime and the water temperature is already warmer, you're going to get a nice, hot, potentially scalding shower. So be conscious of that. That's kind of how those things work right there. You know, I almost feel like they didn't do themselves any favors. That nose cap looks really good, but it actually hides the windshield really well. You got to get right up here and look at it. You know, obviously from the inside you can see it, but outside visibly you don't get that cool hood ornament effect, which I found out from my awesome viewers, by the way. I always thought hood ornaments were just there for pride purposes. Turns out they have a purpose. If you look over the top of the hood ornament, and the top of the hood ornament is just kissing the line on the side right there, well, then you know you're in the center of the lane. It actually does serve a purpose. Who knew? You guys did. That's who. So you got the Giggy box. And that's a battery disconnect on steroids. It does a lot of other things, but that's the best way I can describe it. You're also not on a Lippert chassis. And it's a Norco frame. It's a huck-bolted type frame, which is far, far less common in the industry. I suspect it probably costs more. But it has been my experience. Not purely across the board, but for the most part, the RVs using this chassis are not typically subject to structural challenges, which I like. I also like the docking center, and it's not massive, but I'm going to give them credit. The fact that they actually included a full front pass-through compartment on a front kitchen, very few brands do that. Freedom Express does it, but most brands don't. They don't have good outside storage capacity like this one does. Now, backing up here, showing you around a little bit. This is obviously a cable slide system. You can see it, but that is the Norco that's AccuSlide. Now, in case you're kind of curious, I'll teach you how to fish. How can you tell one from the other? Basically, look inside the RV. If above the slide, there's the big pulley system, well, that's AccuSlide. If you don't see that, well, then that's ExactSlide. There you go. Now, I haven't even looked, but I can almost guarantee you this is a two-headed sewer monster, and yes, sirree, Bob, I can see him from here. So what you have between the two slides is your bathroom black and gray. Then up front, that will be your kitchen gray outlet. And every manufacturer I've seen build this floor plan has done that. Nobody has been able to find a way to cross-plumb everything together. So I'm guessing due to the placement and location and distance of all the different holding tanks, it's just not possible, because otherwise, at this point, I feel like somebody would have done it. Just, I don't know. I could be wrong. They do put a full bumper back here on, I guess you call it the big bullets, you know, the magnums. They use a smaller hitch. It's 150-pound rated, so it is truly just an accessory hitch, but, you know, like a bike rack or something like that. 250-pound rated ladder to get you up to the roof line, which, of course, is fully walkable. And factory standard 220-watt solar package up there with the ability to basically double that, even add a 2,000-watt inverter to the RV right from the factory. Or that's stuff we can do here for you. I mean, it's subjective, too, but it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Now, you might notice that solar panel sticking up over the top that freaks some people out, that they're kind of sticking up fairly high. The thing is, that's actually really good for the solar panel's function, because air can get under it too, and if that solar panel overheats, it doesn't work very well. That's kind of the catch-22 of something designed to sit in the sun all day. When it sits in the sun too long and gets too hot, it stops working very well. So that airflow is a big, big deal on these. Let me know what you think of her. Now, I'll leave you links in the video description to check for pricing and availability like I always do. But Rockwood, Freedom Express, Cougar, a bunch of builders are making really nice front kitchens like this. If you get a chance, check out one or two of those other ones and let me know which one you would go with and why. So until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.